Hello and welcome to the second episode of my television show. My name is MacKenzie Nelson, and I am thrilled and so excited that you can join me today. Honored to share this space with you and really excited to get to our show topic, which is finding joy in unexpected places. I think you can probably relate to this. Maybe you're in a place that you don't like or you're uncomfortable there. And it just brings up these feelings of like, oh, there's nothing good that can come out of that place. I don't know, Walmart or places that normally produce anxiety. Recently, I had a nail appointment with my girl Corey. Shout out for the fabulous pink and whites. She has become so much like a friend since I've been seeing her. And as I sat down to get my nails done the other day, we had our friendly banter talking about her parking lot outside of the nail salon. Now, this parking lot, it's small, it's cramped. It's really hard to get a lot of cars in the same space. So there's usually problems with people being able to access, get inside, get around other cars. There's pebbles everywhere. So it is not paved, there's no pavement. So in the winter, it's such a pain because it makes it really hard to get any vehicles in to go ahead and get the ice out of the way. So all around, Corey struggles with this parking lot, and my heart goes out to her. And she has the best sense of humor about it. So we've been joking about this parking lot for a really long time. And as I left my nail appointment, I got into my car. I'm sitting in my car and I'm just looking across from me. And all of a sudden, I see this little post, and there's some words on this post, but they're kind of like etched. I can't really see, they've been faded by all the elements. And it's high voltage. And just like a lightning surge of information floods through me. And I know all of a sudden that is my television show title, High Voltage. It's so fitting to me, and it's so exciting because I've been praying about this show title for as long as I've known I'm going to do a television show. And, by the end of my first episode, I had no idea what my show was called. But my journey with God is so interesting that so much coincides, comes together, and culminates in God's timing. And usually that looks different than what mine is. And this was no exception. And so we just got the biggest kick out of it. I sent Corey a text and I said, hey, I found my show title in your parking lot. Who would have thought anything good could come out of that parking lot? But here God goes, taking something that is more of a hindrance, annoying, something that bothers someone, and he finds this gem of wisdom, something amazing in this space. And this has happened to me time and time again in my life, so much so that now when it does happen, I laugh and I get a kick out of it, and it entertains me. So this is the joy I'm referring to in these unexpected places. My show title came on God's timing, not my own. And I'm thrilled to be able to share with you today that my show is called High Voltage. Lightning has been speaking to me for several years now in very strange ways. We moved into our first home when I was pregnant with Nevada about 6 years ago, actually. And we had this one tree outside. And it was this beautiful tree in our area. It's a newer area, so there's not a lot of foliage that is mature, and our tree was. And it was so pretty. I was really excited about it. Had these cute little tulips around it. Anyways, we weren't in the house but one or two nights when it got struck with lightning. And I I was beside myself. I was like, that's the only tree we have, God, like doesn't seem okay. So I did. I prayed for the tree. I was like, I want my tree to be whole. So the lightning left it that one half was dead, but the other half was still standing. Well, it was about a few days later and it got struck again. And I mean, it was dead. Like this tree got struck by lightning twice in a very short amount of time. And so I was so confused and I was sad and we had to get our tree removed. And now we have a patch of grass in the front yard. And I was like, wow, what's going on with that? What's going on with the lightning? And I've just been seeing lightning bolts everywhere in certain ways. Like my daughter's favorite character has lightning bolts, like just just different times, different ways that I've heard of lightning. And to me, it represents a surge of knowledge and knowing, as well as providing a means to where we are being recharged and renewed by a love so powerful that it shocks us into the present moment and into awareness. So, my heart for you is that this show will provide you with refreshments, insights, and encouragement to live your life fully charged and engaged on all levels. Lightning now to me through a period of time over the past, 5 years or so has come to represent um, just this electrified love. And I'd never really seen lightning in that capacity before. So when I did see the high voltage sign, it really brought everything together for me. So I'm really excited to be able to share that with you today, too. Another place where, I found a lot of joy in a place I wasn't expecting was actually after we had Lincoln, we were pretty satisfied with him. He was amazing. He was perfect. He was everything you could ever want in a child. He was curious, cute, adventurous. He was everything. Like I could not have been more satisfied with a child and more thrilled to be his mother. And he was enough for me until he got around, I want to say 3 years old, 3 or 4, and he started saying, "But mommy, I'm supposed to have a sister." And it wasn't just one day, it was day after day after day to where I started finally being like, something's going on here. And Brett and I started to pray. Sure enough, we did feel our family was not complete at that time. So we decided to start to try to have our baby girl, which of course I tried to explain to Lincoln that that's not how it works. You don't just get to pick. Um, so we tried unsuccessfully, for about a year. And I was pretty devastated because we got pregnant with Lincoln really quickly. And it got to the point where I was taking these pregnancy tests, month after month after month, and they were becoming more of a burden to me where I was sad about the thought of taking another pregnancy test because they'd all been negative. And we did consult a fertility specialist at that time, and I was given a fertility drug. And we continued to try and pray and trust that if God really did have a baby girl for our family, that that would be the outcome. And sure enough, on Good Friday, after a good, I want to say it was about a year and a half trying, I I had a positive pregnancy test and I was so excited. And I couldn't believe, though, the thing that surprised me the most, the joy I found unexpectedly, was how much had been birthed in me during that time through all the negative pregnancy tests. The waiting actually produced more joy, even though it was such a hardship taking those tests, having them come up negative. What I discovered was after it was positive, like I was so much more excited for this baby than I would have been had it tested positive originally. So now I had more expectation, more joy, more abundance. And I never would have thought that that would come after, such a hard time trying to conceive her. And so our family's complete. We have Lincoln, my son is 11, my little girl, Nevada, is 5. We have a golden doodle, Willie Nelson, and we also have a cat named Sterling. We do have a full house over here. It was actually both of my kids' first days today. Nevada started kindergarten, and Lincoln is in 5th grade. And I was thrilled when they came through the door and told me they had the best day ever. So, if you're going through something right now where you're being, you're really being tested, it feels like your patience, you're having a hard time in a certain area, maybe you're struggling to get pregnant. I really, really want to encourage you and let you know that God is good to come through, and He is here. And if you don't know Him personally or want to reach out, He is for you and He will help you through whatever you are struggling with. There is joy in the unexpected places when you're willing to look to Him for guidance and willing to trust the process. And even though that may look a bit messy at times, I can tell you, as I struggled, to get pregnant, there were times that where I was very raw and I was having a really, really hard time. I didn't understand. I had questions. I think that's all a part of it. So just give yourself grace and mercy if you are walking through something right now that just seems like it's unresolved, and you really don't feel like you have the answers as to why you're waiting without any sort of relief or response. He does see you and He hears you and He is there for you. And I really, really hope that you can press in and find joy in unexpected places, as I have and as I continue to do along my journey. It's not that, I'm perfect or we're perfect, but in our imperfections, when we seek Him and we trust Him and we reach out to Him, He is faithful to provide and carry us through, and give us that joy, even though we might, be in a parking lot kind of upset that, I'm not really sure why I don't have my television show title yet. And there it is staring right at you. So another good point is we can't be so focused on our outcome or when we think things should happen, that we get lost in that. And then we lose sight that everything happens when it's meant to happen, perfect timing, but that's not always in our timing. At least that's what I believe. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of my television show, High Voltage. I'm glad I could spend this time with you today, and I hope you do feel encouraged. Remember, hope is never lost. There is always there's always a way out. There's always hope. And please, if this message touched you or you want to contact me, feel free to reach out, connect with me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, MacKenzieKNelson.com. You can reach me through there. I also have a free 30-minute session if you'd like to connect and talk. And as a reminder, my father's feathers. This is actually the feather on the front cover of my book, the one I've been looking at for even before I started writing my book. And that's a story for another day. You'll have to tune in again if you want to hear a little more. Have a great day, guys, and I will talk to you soon.